Oh crap! We are live on everywhere except Twitch. Twitch doesn't like our titles, so every time I have to. Let me see. What does it? What is this? Okay, let me see what Twitch doesn't like. I have to change the title to something else so that Twitch allows us. So Christchurch. I'm gonna
Christchurch or shooter.
Yeah, probably. I'm just gonna keep like changing words until, let me see, save changes. Is that okay now? Go live. God damn it. Nope, not good enough. What else? Father accused of honor. Oh, god damn it. I'm just gonna say live. We cover the news. Which is so sensitive about the titles.
So sensitive.
We cover the news. Save change. Save changes. Can we go live now on Twitch? Is that okay? Is that okay? We covered the news? God, there you go. We're live on Twitch. So now we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch finally, because so if you're seeing us on Twitch now, the reason why the title is boring, and because Twitch is sensitive. So Twitch is more sensitive than Facebook and YouTube with titles. So
saying something.
What?
I said that's saying something.
Yeah, that's saying something. Actually, you're right. God damn it, Twitch. God damn it, Twitch.
And this was supposed to be our backup alternative.
Right. Yeah, we started going live on Twitch in case YouTube and Facebook kick us out because we're talking about controversial stuff. But Twitch doesn't even like, oh yeah, you can't have like even sensitive titles. God damn it. Like what the? All right. We have our people in the live chat here. We see Justin here. We see, here on Facebook, we highlight some people on the Facebook. Who else we have here? Hello from Chicago. Who's this? Adrian is here. Mars is here. Yeah, no Subham or Rivka today. Yeah. Susanna, here's let's see what she got. No, we're just here to cover the news. Snowflake Twitch. Yes. Hello from Pat, Australia. Hello from Israel. Wow, look at our audience, so international. Like Australia and Israel, and also from Morocco. See, our audience is from all over the world. It's awesome, guys. Make sure that if you're watching us on YouTube, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, link in the description. Follow us on Twitch. Chris is here. Look, this is Chris. Hold on. All right. Maybe we should. Yes. Okay, let's just get into the news. What's the first news, Susanna?
Okay, the first news this week is positive news. So,
don't break everything.
No,
okay.
Never mind. Okay. Christchurch mosque shooter sentenced to life imprisonment without possibility of parole. The mass shooter who slaughtered 51 worshippers at two New Zealand mosques was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The March 2019 attacks targeting people praying at the Al Noor and Linwood mosques shocked New Zealand and prompted new laws banning the deadliest types of semi-automatic weapons. They also prompted global changes to social media protocols after the gunman live-streamed his attack on Facebook. The judge imposed the maximum available sentence to the 29-year-old Australian gunman, the first time the sentence has been imposed in New Zealand. Judge Cameron Mander said the shooter's crimes were so wicked that a lifetime in jail could not begin to atone for them.
Did you make sure we didn't okay, so when you suggested this, I said be careful not to mention his name. Do you think that's like something that we need to be concerned about, like not mentioning the guy's name? Do you think this is or people are just is there a point about people don't mention his name, people can just look up his name. Why do we not mention his name?
So oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of what the YouTube gods would.
No, morally, I don't give.
No. So this was started because of a movement, I believe, called the No Notoriety Movement, something along those lines. And it's basically, the intention is not to help give these mass shooters and active shooters the notoriety that they are often looking for. Not giving them the recognition that they're looking for, not giving them the sort of social martyrdom that they're looking for. They're clearly a bad guy, but if fueling the identity of that individual as this bad person. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess, and I'm hoping that has an influence in actually reducing crap like this.
That's the point.
That's the point, and I hope it works. I hope it does work. I do want to address the people who keep saying like stuff like this. Hold on. Hang him, save the cost of the prison cell for those years. I mean, I'm against capital punishment. Do you think that if you come out and say like, no, do not hang this guy, people are gonna become like extremely uncharitable to your position and say like, oh my god, you're defending a monster like this by saying that you don't want them hanged? Like if I say like, here's the thing, like a lot of people are like, oh, kill him, hang him, torture him. And if I come out and say like, no to torture, no to capital punishment, no to any of that, do you think I would be accused of actually defending a monster like this by saying that? God damn it, who's
I know I'm not in the Facebook chat, so I can't get rid of
it. All right, so
but
yeah, okay.
In terms of that, I don't think that's in any way a position where you are defending him in any way. You are not defending his crimes, most certainly. My understanding is, at least from data in the US, so again, this is exclusive to the US, that it actually costs less to have someone in life imprisonment without parole than it costs to have them on death row. Again, that's specific to my country.
No, but I don't think they actually they mean that they just want they want revenge. They want the guy to suffer or die. Like I think it's more of an emotional thing.
Completely. It completely is. And one of the reasons why I'm against the death penalty is that there is absolutely no evidence or data to support the fact that it helps prevent disgusting acts like this. It's ineffective. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so no, I think people don't understand that no matter what emotionally you desire to happen, once you want to happen to people, we know what works in the civilized world. We encourage due process. We encourage, we're against torture. We're against capital punishment, and I think like, it's easy to defend those, like people like, okay, yeah, I'm against all of those things, except they always say like, except a case like this, right?
Exactly. There are no exceptions.
There shouldn't be any exceptions, because, and it's funny because when people defend values that don't need defending, when it doesn't really need defending, you know what I mean? It's easy, for example, to fight for due process and fight for free speech and fight for human rights when there's no challenge to it, right? When you say I support free speech except, or I support human rights except for this person, when I say human rights is not human rights unless it's defending the worst kind of people.
Exactly.
And free speech is not free speech unless it's defending the worst kind of speech, right? So these are the moments that we're being tested to see if we're actually signing up for the values that make some countries better than the others, right? This is when these values need defending. Now, you don't defend these values when it's easy. You defend these values when it's difficult, when it's a challenge to defend. When you're defending the rights of people that you hate, right? You only know if you're standing up for Enlightenment values if you defend the rights of the people that you are disgusted by. And this is a good. AJ is saying, I disagree. I think suffering in a cage for the rest of his life is far better for him. So here's the thing, AJ. But this is a defense. This is a defense because a lot of people. So here's the thing. This is not about making him suffer. This is about what works in the system, right? Because a lot of people say like, oh no, I'm not defending capital punishment. I'm defending life imprisonment because I think he will suffer like that more. But the justice system is not meant to be for figuring out what makes the person that it's not about revenge. It's not about making the person that we despise suffer. That's not the whole point. The whole point is to reduce harm, to prevent people from doing more harm like this, right? So whenever we're trying to figure out what the justice system needs to do, you shouldn't be like, okay, I want maximum suffering for the people that disgust me, right? That is not how we should look at the justice system. The way we should look at the justice system is what is it going to make it the least likely for harms like this to happen again? If it ends up being suffering of the person who does this, so be it, right? If it ends up being the suffering of the criminal will reduce the chances of other people doing the same thing, then I will support that, but not because I want revenge, because I'm going to support whatever has proven to reduce the chances of more people suffering in the future. It's a strictly utilitarian perspective rather than a perspective that requires my personal desire for vengeance. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Completely.
All
Plus,
right.
it appears to me, based on some preliminary Googles, that both New Zealand and Australia do not even have capital punishment.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people, I think, in the live chat or in the comment section, they were like, "Oh, I would like this person should be burned alive or something like that."
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to see. I'm like, well, I'm glad you're not in charge of anything if that's what you want. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah. Justin is saying, what does suffering prove? Why bother? Why should law make people suffer? Yeah, the law should protect people. The law is not the justice system is not there to satisfy people's desire for revenge. The justice system, the government is there to protect us. AJ is saying, that's what I mean. I'm against torture and death penalties, but he owes a large debt to the families of those he killed who are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, he does. But again,
I've watched a lot of the videos of family members and survivors testifying at his sentencing hearing, and it is extremely moving. I cried. And I mean, I guess there are some people who are like, Susanna, why is this good news? To me, this is good news because a violent and deadly anti-Muslim bigot is being put away and kept away from society for the rest of his life.
Right.
I don't want him harming another Muslim or anyone who he deems to be outside of his. He was fueled by some racial supremacy, right? I want someone like that to be unable to harm other people ever again. And the sentence that came down on him will help make sure that that's reality. So that's what's positive to me.
Right. Mars saying, I don't know. Let me see if I could pronounce this. Retributive versus restorative justice. Michael Shermer has a good chapter on this in one of his books, arguing for the latter. Interesting. Okay, cool. Check that out for anybody who's interested. AJ saying, I read his manifesto. Well, what a horrible mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, by the way, do we know if he was an atheist?
I don't know that off the top of my head now.
Okay. If he was, would we have to come out and say like, oh, we do not condone this, like as atheists? Like, I don't know. Is that something that we're supposed to do if an atheist does something like this? Like, is it our responsibility to? I mean, we are already calling it out, but would it be more of a responsibility of us to come call it out? Oh no, people are saying he's Christian. Okay.
Interesting.
But even
hypothetically, I would feel more of an onus and I would feel a definite responsibility to call it out if in any manifestos or previous writings he gave that as some reason or motivations for his actions. Even if he didn't give that as an explicit reasoning for his actions, I would still call it out. Yeah.
So here's the thing, though. We have to be careful because a lot of atheists, I think, because he's Christian, are going to be like, oh, look, this is because of Christianity. And it seems like his motivation had nothing to do with Christianity, right? So just because somebody is a Christian and they did something, do not like the knee-jerk reaction for some atheists that want to blame everything on religion. There's enough things to blame religion on. You don't have to go find something new that doesn't. It doesn't matter if he's a Christian, but if Christianity was not at all his motivation, then do not go be like, oh, this is because of Christianity. Okay, this is most of his white. Did you already say the WS word?
No,
You probably you didn't. Okay,
racial supremacy.
Okay. Oh, racial.
I hope that's not too close.
Yeah.
For those who are new, we have to come up with coded language because of the YouTube gods. So
YouTube gods, yeah, YouTube gods don't like us to
playing along. If anyone in the live chat needs to clarify what we're
How about low melanin supremacy? Low melanin supremacy. Okay, so the low. yeah. Okay. So his ideology was low melanin supremacy. Okay, I hope the YouTube gods let us say that. Yeah, I like that low melanin supremacy. Okay, good. I don't actually like that ideology. I'm just saying I like the
catchphrase, coded language.
Yes. AJ is saying he also said he wasn't racist, but believed the different races should be separated as God intended. Jesus Christ, man.
Which is really bonkers. Yeah. He was fueled by some weird kind of like ecological motivation as well, like preserving resources for his race, specifically in the face of global climate change. Very weird combination of eco-terrorism and non-melanated, low melanated supremacy.
So that's serious news.
It is.
Okay.
I'm laughing at the links that we have to go to be able to actually talk about
just giving
the terrible things in this world. It's ridiculous that we have to code ourselves to call out people who are as reprehensible as this, because the algorithm can't tell when we are condemning something just because we have to talk about it in plain terms.
Right. All right, let's move to the next news.
Okay. So, next news. Father accused of honor killing his teen daughters finally caught in Texas, in the United States of America. Yasser Abdel Sayed, a Louisville cab driver wanted in connection with brutal slayings of his two teenage daughters, is in custody in North Texas after 12 years on the run. According to the FBI, Syed, who was considered armed and dangerous and known to carry a weapon while driving his cab, was apprehended without incident by SWAT agents from the FBI's Dallas field office. Yasser Syed had been on the run since 2008 after police said he took his daughters, 18-year-old Amina and 17-year-old Sarah, to get something to eat on New Year's Day. He put the girls in his taxi cab and left their home in Louisville, where he allegedly shot them both in the back of their cab as they sat in his car.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. Wait. Is this the taxi driver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had the wrong news up. Hold on, let me get the right one. This is the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the right one?
Yes. Yeah. It's absolutely reprehensible what he did. I wanted to highlight this because although the murders took place in 2008, I think people in America often want to believe that these things don't happen here. Honor killings, they do happen here. And I'm really glad that this man was finally captured.
Are these the daughters?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he killed them both?
Mm-hmm.
For what reason did you say?
It's not entirely clear. Let me
How
Wait.
do we know? And this is him, right?
Yeah, give your take while I look at these details real quick.
So how do we know? How do we know it was? I mean, what's the definition? I guess if a father kills his daughter, it's pretty close. It's pretty.
Oh wow, he was on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitive list for a really long time.
Jesus. So the system actually failed these daughters.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't catch them. Ethan is saying they were supposedly dating non-Muslim guys. How old were they? Oh, 12 years.
No, he's been on the run for 12 years. They were 18 and 17.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
He just killed them because they were dating non-Muslim boys?
According to a report by the Dallas Morning News, the girls alleged their fathers had sexually and physically abused them after he pulled a gun on Amina, threatening her life after learning she had a boyfriend.
Oh, Farouz is saying he killed them for dating and being too westernized.
Yeah.
God damn it. See, this is one of those times I get tempted to throw away my values and say, like, God damn it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hell.
Yeah. But we can only hope that he's brought to justice under the fullest extent of the law. These girls deserved so much better in life. They deserved to be free.
Okay, so the news is getting more attention right now because of the sentencing, even though like this happened.
He hasn't been sentenced. He just got caught. He got caught after 12 years on the run.
Jesus, how did he? Okay, how did you get away from the FBI for 12 years? Like, what the hell?
Probably given the nature of his work as a taxi cab driver, he was able to move around more often and be more transient. That's my assumption.
How do you even have a job if you're under like running from the law? That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you supposed to have like a license to drive a taxi or what the hell? Is it that easy to go under the radar in the United States from the FBI? That's insane.
It is insane, especially because he was one of their 10 most wanted fugitives. So he was a high priority.
Should we give the whole? I don't know if people know about our stance. Can this be blamed on Islam or not? Every time I feel like I keep repeating myself every time, but there are new people here. Should I just go over it every time that this happens? Can honor killings be blamed on Islam?
It's worth repeating.
Okay. Technically, there's nothing in the Quran or in the Hadith that allows you to kill your own daughters. This is punishable in Islam. You can't just kill innocent people. And even if there is any punishment for adultery, it can only happen through a court, blah, blah, blah. There needs to be judgment. You cannot just take the law into your Sharia law into your own hand and all of that, right? And killing of your own daughters is definitely haram in Islam. It's sinful. You're not allowed to do it, right? So in that sense, there's no direct calling for this in Islam. However, there must. How is there a correlation? It seems like the vast majority, of honor killings happen in people with Islamic backgrounds. So there does seem to be a correlation. Does this correlation suggest a causation? It might, because of the type of attitudes that Islam indirectly promotes that leads to this type of thinking without actually directly calling for it. An honor-based culture, a sense of having ownership over women, and also some direct incentives by having lower punishment for killing your as in owning the people or your woman over your men. Like if the punishment for killing your daughters is less than the punishment for killing your sons. And so there's a lot of incentives, and there's also promoting honor culture, and also a sense of ownership over women does encourage this type of behavior. And for people to understand, for people with a Christian background to understand how this is comparable to something in Christianity is for example, if considering Christianity, it doesn't anywhere in the Bible suggest that it's okay for you to molest children. However, you see child molestation is common more in religious circles than in non-religious circles. For example, the Catholic Church is famous for it. So can we say that Christianity deserves no blame, given that there's nowhere in the Bible that it allows you to molest children? And so the answer is yes and no. No, because you can't blame them because there's no direct calling for it. But also yes, because religion does promote an environment and certain attitudes for that kind of behavior to become more normal. For example, two things that Christianity could make this more likely is giving a sense of authority to people that and credibility to people that deserve no authority, and getting parents to trust higher authorities that have not proven that they deserve that trust at all, for them to have any control or any any right for them to look after you or look after your children, or be given authority over them. That level of trust is given through a religious environment, and that shouldn't be given. It wouldn't have been given to them in any other way. And also the sense of all sins are basically the same. You steal a candy, you molest a child, you commit genocide, potato, they're all just sins. We're all just sinners. All sins are forgiven through our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That kind of attitude also promotes that. So basically, indirectly, religion is responsible for these kind of behavior, and that's why the correlation might also suggest that there is a causation. Again, correlation does not always prove causation, but it highly suggests causation. Anyways. Can we record this and just every time there's an honor killing, I just play it and then go? I don't know, because I have to do. But I did a good job with that, actually reading off of a script or something, right? I think it did.
Yeah, and you kept it concise. To answer some of your questions about how he was able to get away, they also arrested his son and his brother in relation to this, because they are being charged with harboring a known fugitive. So they're saying that after 12 years of frustration and dead ends, the pursuit of the killer never ceased. Where did it go? Basically, they believe that he was able to get away for so long because he was being sheltered by other people in his Egyptian community across the United States and possibly in Egypt. They said that they know that he has been multiple places, although they didn't elaborate about where those locations were outside of Texas. Syed was born in Egypt, and investigators believed he had been seeking shelter in communities with Egyptian ties, or in New York City, Canada, or Egypt, where he is known to have had connections.
Yuna saying, I'm surprised there were people covering for this guy for that long. It's also weird how they weren't tempted by the reward money, assuming it's high since he's on the top 10 list. And Yuval is saying that the link that I mentioned is a bit of a stretch. It's like CS linking atheism to gulags in the USSR. What I'm saying is not technically a stretch, because the data supports that honor killing happens in Islamic. I think the second highest is Hindu background by if you adjust per capita by a huge margin. But honor killing is very much tied to the Islamic world and people with Muslim background. So I don't know how that's a stretch. The vast majority of is there a correlation between? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. The data backs it up. Come on, guys. So I'm just providing a hypothesis. You guys could prove me wrong. This is not even a theory. This is just a hypothesis. Suha is saying like and subscribe. Yes, everybody like and subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitch and everywhere else. Link in the description. All right. Should we go to the next news?
Yeah, just a sec. I hate you is saying, if you don't send for Susanna off to the gulag. No, I do not support that. Okay.
Guys, hashtag simp for Susanna in the live chat. Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
No. Wait. Simp for Armin. Simp for Armin. Not simp for Susanna. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I advertising for you? I thought we were competing. All right, go. Yeah.
Just your local Chad and Stacy, according to the people in the chat last week.
Shut up. No.
I'm kidding.
Next news.
Okay, next news. Muslim girl's family shaves her head over boyfriend and faces deportation. So there are two parts to the story. First, there was the news of this incident, and then there's the news of the consequences that is happening to these people because of this incident. So a Bosnian Muslim family in France who severely beat and shaved the head of their 17-year-old daughter is set for deportation after their trial. The woman sustained abuse after she was engaged in a relationship with a Christian Serb. She had fled her family's apartment after they condemned talk of marriage to her boyfriend, and upon returning, faced brutal abuse by her mother, father, uncle, and aunt. Family members left her with a broken rib, multiple bruises across her body, as well as potentially permanent damage to her ears. The 4 family members involved in the abuse will be tried for violence against minors.
Okay, so wait, if they get deported, wouldn't the children be deported with them?
That's what's unclear about this news story, was how they're going to protect her.
Okay, so they shave the head of these girls.
Just one.
One. Wait, as what? Oh, because they had a Christian, because the Muslim girls had a Christian boyfriend, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, what is up with why do we not see like punishment for Muslim boys having Christian or non-Muslim girlfriends, right? It's usually the other way around. Am I like noticing a trend here? Like, Muslim parents don't seem to be punishing. I mean, obviously it could be Ahlul Kitab. They don't punish their Muslim sons for having non-Muslim or westernized girlfriends, right? They do punish their daughters for having not Western or non-Muslim boyfriends. It seems like maybe I need more data to back this up, but this is what it's coming out across like, right, to me. Somebody's saying like this is not a big deal because my parents shave. Look, here it is. Michael's saying, why is this news? My parents shaved my head religiously. Yeah, you're a boy, Michael. You're a boy. I mean, I'm pretty sure girls having their head shaved is a much more traumatic. Is that Susanna? How weird is
that's not even my problem with it. If your parents are forcing you to shave your head, I have a problem with that. Period. Right. Especially if it comes purely from a religious purpose and a dogma, right? I don't like that. They are doing this as a form of abuse and a form of punishment. They are shaving her head to make her ugly so that she's unappealing, to try to shame her for her having a boyfriend, right?
Right. Against her will.
Against her will. It's extremely abusive. It's a humiliation tactic that's so psychologically damaging. Although I do think you're right that it is, if I was making a generalization, it would probably be more psychologically damaging for a young girl versus a young boy, because we do culturally place value on women having beautiful hair.
Yeah.
Right.
Faraz is saying the honor is heavily placed on females. Justin is saying all hair matters. Yuva is saying French hypocrisy, French shaved heads of women for sleeping with Germans. Yeah, but again, I don't know. No, but this is about this being a punishment, okay? Like, you can shave your head if you want, but this is a punishment. But again, I'm worried. Like, if they're deporting the entire family, wouldn't they be putting this girl in more harm's way if they now go to a country where they have more access to punishing her the way they want?
That's what's difficult, is I can't find information on what will be done to protect her. So part of what complicates this matters is that the asylum case or whatever for her parents had already been rejected. Their refugee status had been rejected, and they were set to be deported back already. But then because of COVID, that was delayed. However, her aunt and uncle did receive refugee status, but because of this incident, their case is now going to be re-examined. So they're at threat of deportation. I'm really hoping that the government will be taking measures to keep her in the country. It's unclear to me what her refugee status is, because sending her back with them is just going to make matters a lot worse.
Yeah, a lot. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me just read some other comments saying, yeah, more of a big deal if it's girls or bold. Yuval says, Susanna, not recently, but it is not mentioned with shame today. Okay. Let's move on to the next news.
You're not doing...
No, Rivka is not here. I'm not doing the clap. Rivka, I do it for Rivka because she like... Every time I go next news, she goes like this. So I do it for Rivka. If Rivka is not here, I'm not doing the next news thing. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. Next news.
Okay. American Atheists urge Supreme Court not to impose blasphemy law. In the United States, the civil rights organization American Atheists urged the Supreme Court justices to refrain from restricting free speech and conjuring a de facto blasphemy law into existence from the bench. The case involved is Fulton versus City of Philadelphia, wherein Catholic Social Services claims the City of Philadelphia must provide it with taxpayer-funded contract to place children in foster care despite its refusal to comply with the city's non-discrimination requirements, in part because two Philadelphia officials made innocuous statements about the Archdiocese and the Pope. Jeffrey Blackwell, litigation counsel at American Atheists, stated, quote, if the court were to overturn decades of jurisprudence because of these harmless comments, it would create a doctrine akin to a blasphemy law. Free speech would be stifled, and officials would be encouraged to fawn over religion, since to do otherwise would endanger any government action, end quote.
Wait, can you explain this? I don't get it. Explain.
So there's a lot going on in this case. One of the main factors of this case is that Catholic Social Services was previously contracted with the City of Philadelphia to provide foster care services for children placed in the foster care system. Now, the City of Philadelphia revoked that contract because Catholic Social Services was discriminating against same-sex couples who wanted to take care of foster children. They wouldn't let gay couples, queer couples, they wouldn't let them become foster parents through this organization. So the City of Philadelphia revoked their contract, and in turn, Catholic Social Services sued because they think that it is part of their, it infringes on their liberty to not discriminate against gay people. So one thing that came into this case was there were a few city officials who made comments related to Catholicism in the Catholic Church. So the Catholic Social Services are also coming after them for that as a form of bigotry, discrimination, and infringing upon their First Amendment rights. Now, the comments are very innocuous. It's just benign criticism, but it is not encouraging action against Catholics or this social service.
Where does blasphemy come into all of this?
Because, let me pull up the article. They are saying that these comments constitute religious hostility, and they are trying to bring that into the case of discrimination against them. So they're saying because these people who happen to be city officials said some things that they don't like, that constitutes an infringement upon their First Amendment rights, which is not true. So then, what American
that's effectively blasphemy.
Yeah. So exactly. So where American Atheist is coming in is they're saying, if you do this, in defense of Catholics, so to speak, then that gives us open range for us to go after any other person sitting in public office who speaks against atheists and secularists, of which there are many high-ranking people who do this. So one thing that also went into this article was them talking about how if you go forward with this, expect a waterfall of lawsuits against all these other ranking officials who trash us.
Right. Okay, so Ethan is saying the government shouldn't be contracting religious organization for services anyways. Should be a separation of church and state. AGA is saying the Catholic Church should have nothing to do with child protective services. Okay, yeah. Marky is here from the Philippines, which is fitting right now because we're talking about the Catholic Church. AJ is saying it will open the doors to other cases. Imagine if, imagine if blasphemy laws one day are used in defense of atheists. We're like, yeah, that would be it. All right, let's go to. Oh, I almost did the clap thingy. Let's go to the next news.
Okay. Bangladeshi blogger faces death threats for criticizing Islamic fundamentalism. In Bangladesh, Asad Noor, an outspoken...
Wait, not even Islam, just Islamic fundamental, not just Islam, just Islamic fundamentalism. That's crazy.
Well, we'll get into it.
Okay.
Asad Noor, an outspoken Bangladeshi blogger, has been facing threats and intimidation from both state and non-state actors for supporting minorities and criticizing Islamic fundamentalism. In July, Noor published several video blogs protesting the persecution of Bangladesh's minority Buddhist community in Rangjuniya. A local leader of the country's ruling party, the ruling party, which is Awami League, or AL, sued the blogger under the Digital Security Act, accusing him of hurting religious sentiments and running propaganda against the spirit of the Liberation War. Quote, in my YouTube and Facebook videos, I have been criticizing Islam and Prophet Muhammad, referencing the Quran and the Hadith. At the same time, I'm critical about political Islam. That's why Islamists are angry at me, Noor told German news agency DW. So part of this has to do with some ethno-religious conflict in the area. So they're trying to say that because he is criticizing Islam, he is going to promote ethnic conflict in the region. So that's one of the...
okay, can we acknowledge that this person has balls of steel, given that people just get killed left and right for criticizing Islam in Bangladesh? And AJ is pointing that out as well. Being a blogger in Bangladesh, well, being an atheist or a secular blogger in Bangladesh is really dangerous. I mean, what motivates it? After you have... Bangladesh is famous for not just killing their atheist and secularist bloggers, but killing them in the most gruesome and slow and painful ways possible. So I don't understand, if I was an atheist in Bangladesh, I would keep that to myself. I mean, but how do these people, what encourage? I mean, this person is like a hero to me. I mean, I don't understand, what motivates these people to be able to oh yeah, people get killed here for saying these things, and I'm just gonna do it anyways. How does that work? I don't understand. I never understand. I would never be that brave.
For people who don't know, there was a spate of brutal murders, I believe in either 2013 or 2015, I believe 2015, of multiple secularist or atheist bloggers being targeted by being hacked to death in the street by machetes in front of their own homes.
Right.
At almost around 10 people, don't quote me on that, but a large number of people within the past 5 years that we're about. And that spate of violence calmed down, so to speak, but it is still incredibly dangerous to do this. One thing, though,
wait, you don't forget that, keep that in mind. I just need to read some comments. This person whose username is I hate you says, dude criticizing Islam in a majority Muslim country, I salute you. People are also pointing out how handsome he is. He has this Jesus look as well. AJ is saying one blogger was hacked to pieces.
Multiple bloggers.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are noticing how great his hair looks. Justin is saying strategically relocated. Oh wait,
that's what Muhammad Hijab would say. Yeah.
Justin, people don't know what you're referring to.
They're not up on the Dawa drama then.
Okay, what do you say?
I have more to say.
Yeah, go on.
So he illegally crossed the border into India in February of 2019. So he's been living in India since then. I'm hoping that provides him with relatively more safety.
Okay.
But he's been publishing videos from India, and then even then they're trying to sue him then within this past month. Well, July. And yeah, so they're trying to accuse him of damaging religious harmony between Muslims and Buddhists.
It's such a crap. Every time you criticize Islam or Hinduism, they don't they're butthurt over it. And to make it seem more significant than you just offending people, they're like, oh, you're disrupting the peace. Like, to make it seem like, because they know that it has to be harm-based, or else people are going to make fun of you for having such a thin skin. So they try to pretend like it's for the sake of the peace, guys. It's for the sake of the peace. We're just like, yeah, for the sake of the peace, you guys are actually doing the harm to prevent harm. Great job.
One of his video blogs featured the apparent vandalism of a Buddhist statue under construction in a Buddhist monastery in Ranjania, which appears to be the region that he's from, and that's where his family lives, where his family has since been targeted by the state. Noor claimed that the attackers of this Buddhist statue were supported by forest officials and a local MP of the AW party because they wanted to evict the monks from the area. So he's trying to expose some of the influence of Islam in politics in his region. And this plays into a larger issue in the area of the Buddhist monastery and then the AL leadership claiming disputed ownership over this region of land. So that's another aspect of kind of this ethno-religious tension, is a land dispute, coupled by him highlighting iconoclasm that's happening in the region.
Okay. Justin is saying Islamic fragility. Yep, good term. Anyways, we should move on to the next news.
Yes. Next news. Okay. Outspoken Nigerian atheist still hasn't been seen since arrest. # free Mubarak Bala. In Nigeria, Mubarak Bala, the president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria, was not one to filter his words. On April 25th, he logged onto Facebook again and typed a post calling the Prophet Muhammad a terrorist. Shortly afterwards, Mr. Bala was arrested after lawyers in private practice in his conservative birthplace of the Muslim-majority city of Kano complained about his Prophet Prophet Muhammad post to the police. Other non-believers are worried that these same lawyers are drawing up a list of other Nigerian atheists to be prosecuted and that more arrests will be coming. In violation of a June court ruling, he has not been allowed to see his lawyer. Mr. Bala is believed to be the first atheist arrested in Nigeria for blasphemy. So I wanted to highlight this story because the issue of what's happening to Mubarak Bala is of the utmost importance. He's been held in detention and incommunicado for over 100 days, way more than 100 days by now, since about April 28th, I believe. But I wanted to highlight this story because this was actually published in the New York Times. And I'm really excited that this is being highlighted by major news organizations. It's a huge step in the right direction, but we need a lot more attention on his case in general. They also, in the article, highlighted the story of the Nigerian singer who was recently arrested and sentenced to death by hanging for a song that he made in which he kind of refers to a Senegalese imam as higher than the Prophet Muhammad. He's also been sentenced to hanging for that. And in general, I'm really excited to see more news organizations highlighting the fight for secularism and freedom of expression in Nigeria, because I believe it is going to be one of the most important movements, probably within my lifetime.
What do you think happened to him? What he's been missing? And we interviewed somebody over this from Nigeria.
Leo Igwe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Leo Igwe is also highlighted in the article as well.
Right. But why do you think he's missing? Is he alive?
We don't know. We don't know.
Okay.
And that's why we have to keep calling this out, drawing attention to it, because we demand to know what happened. Yeah, it's.
I mean, is this normal for Nigeria, for somebody who's like, for other cases, for somebody who's now arrested for blasphemy? It's fair to say this is arresting for blasphemy, right?
Yes.
Television just were like, okay, let's have a lawyer and everything, but like, no lawyer. The prisoner is missing. Like, where is he? Like, nope. Hey, government, where is this guy? No answer. Like, is this like the way things are in Nigeria, or is this a special case?
I have to be honest in saying that I'm not sure. The impression I've got as I've followed this case, again, this is only an impression, is that this is unusual. And it is certainly in violation with multiple court rulings that have been put forth regarding his case. They're basically just police and state actors are ripping up, by their actions, they're ripping up the Nigerian constitution itself. It's in violation of so many different laws that they have on the books. It's crazy. And giving into a lot of religious fundamentalist pressure in this way. And it's well documented that the police are sympathetic towards the religious fundamentalists. And it's really terrible. And then part of they're saying, oh, well, there are delays in the legal proceedings partly caused by COVID, like which isn't helping the situation at all.
No, but they say like, just tell us if he's alive. Like, can you just say that? Like, they like has been radio silence over this. Like, where is he? Like, yeah,
exactly.
You don't need to with that. I mean, the COVID is not stopping you from just announcing like, yep, he's here, he's fine. Like, can you just say that at least? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Daniel is saying that the longer it takes for them to produce him, the less likely it is that he's still alive. Jesus Christ.
It's really terrible. One, we're already dealing with COVID. Two, he already has some pre-existing medical conditions. Like, I believe he has hypertension.
So one thing I want to mention about Nigeria is a lot of atheists and secular groups are not paying enough attention to Nigeria. Nigeria is going to be one of the key, most important countries for spreading secular Enlightenment values and also promoting atheism. Is one of the most largest countries in the world by population, and it has a lot of grassroots, self-made, atheist and secular movements and humanist movements from within Nigeria itself, growing very fast with a lot of success, even though they're meeting a lot of hostility from both Christians and Muslims. I mean, given the amount of barriers in their way, it's so impressive to see that the atheists in Nigeria have managed to grow so much. Yes. And have managed to spread their, it's amazing. And it's also a lot more brave than what we're doing here, right? And it's a lot more, they deserve, and they're not getting the atheist activists in Nigeria. They're not getting the attention they deserve, given the amount of success they have had in the past couple of years, right? And given that Nigeria is a country that is dealing with both diseases of Christianity and Islam at the same time, right? We should look at it as like the global atheist community should look at Nigeria and pay more attention to it and see it as a major battleground against these dangerous ideologies. And
Africa, period. Over a third of the 71 countries that have legislation against blasphemy, over a third of those countries are in Africa.
Yeah, but I mean, Africa, I don't know if we should say Africa, period, because we don't usually say, like, I don't know, Asia, period, about, I don't know. Yeah.
In general, I don't think that African non-believers and secularists are highlighted enough. That might be a broad statement, but maybe that is my generalization.
My feeling is that North African countries do get highlighted because people are, because they're more Islamic, and people do have this anti-Islam
focus.
Focus a lot. So the North African countries do get more highlighted than Middle and South African countries, right? And I think Nigeria is right in the sweet spot of having both Islam and Christianity. But I think like Kenya and Uganda don't get the attention that they deserve, right? So yeah.
There's actually a prominent activist in Kenya that I really want to have on, but I need
there's
to
one
find
country that doesn't get enough attention, and I can't even pronounce it. Every time I have to look up this country's name.
Is it Mauritania?
Yes, thank you. God damn
Mauritania, I already knew.
Yeah, you already know. Like I keep learning their name, and then the next time I look at it, like, God damn it, I forgot how to pronounce this again. What, they have such a weird name. Like, it's so hard to just look at the word. Like, how is this Mauritania? Like, it's not written like Mauritania. Anyways, pay attention to Mauritania. Mauritania is also extremely hostile towards any form of dissent against Islam.
And it's worth noting that these blasphemy laws hurt Muslims. Like the Nigerian singer who is being sentenced to death is a Muslim. These laws harm everyone. They harm everyone, and we fight against them. Well, one, because they do target atheists often highly, but they destroy the freedom of expression for all people, especially religious minorities, and even more especially non-religious minorities, which is why we speak out so fiercely. And we blaspheme. Right. We blaspheme on the behalf of those who cannot.
Who can. AJ is saying atheist lives matter. Yes, they do. Pinpoint is saying Nigeria, the most populated country in Africa, and soon to become definitely, and soon to become one of the most populated countries in the world. And Pinpoint, Susanna is frozen.
I can still hear you though.
Okay,
there I am.
Sorry, I'm frozen. Pinpoint saying Nigeria is a clash between Islam and Christianity. Yes, and soon to be a clash between Islam, Christianity, and atheism. Okay. Hopefully, but I have a lot of high hopes for Nigeria, and producing a lot of very dedicated activists in Nigeria.
Yes. Moral of the story is that we demand proof of life of Mubarak Bala.
Yes.
That's the bare minimum.
Yeah, okay, so there's Robert, that's not what we're covering, but we'll look into it, I guess, right? All right, let's go to the next news.
Okay, next news. Indian journalist trashes Hindu scripture and sparks outrage. Delhi-based journalist Shumita Sinha's video criticizing Hindu festival Tej created controversy on social media recently, with many calling for her arrest. Sinha is seen holding a Hindu scripture, the Hartalika Tej Katha, and
Wow,
asking,
that was impressive. I didn't know how you did that, but go on. Okay.
Más o menos, and is seen asking viewers if she should use this book as toilet paper or tissue paper, since it is of, quote, no use to her. Quote, I have
She's my kind of activist. I love her. I love her. Okay, go on.
I paid 15 rupees for this useless book, and now it's of no use to me. Now I am wondering if I should use this book as tissue paper or toilet paper. What do you think? What do you think she has said and she has seen saying in the video? The book has Lord Shiva and the goddess Poverty on its cover. Sinha claimed she is now receiving death and rape threats. A hashtag demanding her arrest has been trending on Twitter recently.
What happened to all the Hindus that keep saying, well, we're not as bad as Muslims? We're not as bad as Muslims. They have a hashtag going on for arresting somebody that said, because mere words, right?
She didn't even do anything to the book in the video.
Right.
She's simply talking about what if I did do it. She didn't even do you where you tweeted that you did do something to a certain holy book, but you're not showing it, right? That received a lot of criticism. And she's just saying, what if I did? And people are demanding her arrest.
Where is Subham where we need him, right?
I know, he's the one who wanted to cover this news too.
All right, hold on. Let me show you guys the video. Well, you're not going to be able.
Hindi.
Yeah, I'm just going to show it. I know it's not going to. You guys.
इस रद्दी किताब के लिए मैंने 15 रुपए खर्च किए. अब ये किताब मेरे किसी काम की नहीं है, तो मैं सोच रही हूँ कि इसे मैं टिश्यू पेपर की तरह.
I love her. I have no idea what she's saying, but I love her.
Yeah, but we got respect for it. Yeah. So part of the reason why Subham wanted to highlight this news and why I wanted to highlight this news is because obviously, well, maybe not obviously, if you are involved in the ex-Muslim community or follow the ex-Muslim community, the month of August 2020 has been characterized by some highly controversial conversations about whether or not it is worthwhile to desecrate the Quran. Armin responded this a couple weeks ago by eating the Quran and the Bible on camera to demonstrate, one, that it's harmless, and two, that people have less of a reaction to the Bible. And so, well, you can respond to that just a sec. And so Subham wanted to highlight that people have as intense of a reaction to Hindu scripture as well, because that was a conversation we had. They react so heavily.
I'm declaring here officially the Hindus, not all, to be the greatest snowflakes online, way above Muslims. The official champions of snowflakery are the Hindus. Every time, so just remember, guys, every time the Hindus come and say, like, we're not bad, well, at least we're not as bad as Muslims, okay? Okay, yeah, in the beheading department, you're not as bad as Muslims, okay? But in the being triggered part, in the being the snowflakes, you guys have outdone the Muslims by a wide margin, because we have managed to, like the anti-Islam advocates like us, we have managed to desensitized Muslims a little bit. Again, they still lose their mind every time we talk about desecrating the Quran in different ways, right? They still go out, they say lose their minds. But if you look at the recent eating the Quran and when declaring that we're going to pee on the Quran and stuff like that, the reaction to that was a bunch of Muslims getting offended, but not nearly as close as what this lady got. There's a major hashtag, the hashtag is going viral. There's an outcry of Hindus out there demanding her arrest. The reaction to this was astronomically higher. Actually, the Sweden people might be challenging that right now. So I guess
to be covered later this week.
Yes, I guess the Muslims are trying to catch up, try to steal back that number one place back from the Hindus. It's like a tight race actually now. The Hindus seem to have the lead, and now the Muslims are catching back on. So I don't know. Yeah, the Sweden stuff now is challenging my claim here. So I have to rethink this claim. But again, the fact that this is even debatable shows how bad, how far behind the Hindus are when it comes to being offended. Subham is in the live chat. I don't know if he wants to tell us anything about. Does he have any?
I just asked him to share his opinion. Yeah. So she posted a full 2-minute and 15-second video to Instagram, but it was only about 17 seconds of the video where she's holding it up and talking about using it. What if that would 17 seconds of that video is what went viral and what sparked this outrage.
Right.
And she is talking about I had spoken about the katha that is read while fasting on Tej, which is a festival. There are many misogynistic rules in this book. If you drink water during the fast, one will turn into a pig or a widow, etc. I only read a page from the book that had all of these things. So this is also a form of her speaking out against the misogyny that's in this scripture. And part of the festival is celebrated mostly in North India by married women who have to fast to ensure their husbands live long lives, while unmarried women pray for good husbands. Yeah, so she's holding it up and she's saying, well, this is of no use to me.
Right. By the way, Afshin is saying many Hindus I spoke to expect atheists say that atheists must accept them, proclaiming Hinduism is an atheist religion. That's absolute horse crap.
It is horse.
Horse crap. No, it's not. There's one God that once doubted something and we're like, oh, look, we're atheist friendly. It's they want a medal for not having anything in their religion that says that atheists need to be beheaded. And they think that makes them atheists. It's kind of like if somebody comes and says hey, I believe in leprechauns. And you look at them and you're like, well, that's stupid. Hey, my leprechaun belief doesn't require me beheading you. Hey, I'm so tolerant. I'm so tolerant. There's nothing in my leprechaun belief that requires me beheading you. Okay, that's still batshit crazy though. I'm not gonna stop calling out how stupid your religion is just because there's no mentioning of beheading of people that don't believe in leprechauns, right? Your religion is, you people are still extremely intolerant. You want people arrested. You go crazy every time somebody says something remotely negative, even a little bit negative about your ideology. And if people knew more about your religion and the Hinduism, they would be calling it out way more than they're doing right now. But you guys are again, I think we need to attack Hinduism a lot more because you remember Muslims used to I would say used to, but now apparently they're doing it in Sweden again. But they every time you draw Muhammad or did a cartoon or something, things just got burned. That was the de facto thing to go to. But now we have a Draw Muhammad Day, and it seems like they're kind of okay with that. I think they're not desensitized to burning the Quran, right? So I think we need to, just like we desensitize them to drawing Muhammad, we now need to desensitize the Muslims to like doing things to the Quran so that we don't get this many reactions to them. But I think nobody has. I think Hindus are so confused because for so long nobody came after the religion. Everybody was like, "Oh, Hinduism is just a way of life. It's a philosophy. It's not a religion. It's tolerant." And now people are looking into Hinduism and like, "Holy crap! There's a lot of misogyny and a lot of intolerance and a lot of just batshit crazy stuff here." And they're attacking it, and Hindus like, what is this? Why are people doing this to us, right? So they're not used to it, so that's why they're not as desensitized to it as a lot of people from other religions, right? So I think we need to go after Hinduism a little more so that they get used to this. Yeah. But go on.
So Subham had a comment. Well, it's at 7:07 for me. Let me find it. Armin asked earlier if Hindus care about their scripture much. Well, this is not an important scripture at all. I had never heard the name of this book before. Wow. So it's a minor scripture and people are losing they're flipping their gourd. They've lost it.
So wow.
I found
okay. So they're pissed about something that is not even a significant part of Hinduism. Imagine if we went for something that was more of the core. I remember seeing somewhere that people said that one of the gods in Hinduism seems to offend them the most if you go after. It was a female god. Like they seem to. Yeah, there's a female god that the Hindus want to they simp for their female gods more than their male gods, right?
People are really protective over Ram. They really lose it over Ram as well.
Right. Okay, which one? We need to go after the god. We need to guys. We need to make memes about the god that the Hindus are the most sensitive about. Okay, and I don't know what kind of memes to make. Like,
I remember we came under fire for a meme that took the template of it's a photo from a porn of a tiny little white girl surrounded by like 7 huge black guys, and they replaced the girl with the female god with 8 arms.
Right.
And so they're juxtaposing this god with pornography, and they lost it.
Wait, where did we post that? We posted that on Atheist Republic?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's how we flushed out a lot of Hindupa, actually.
That's great.
So we know that's one way to get them.
Guys, can you go to our Discord server? I need to make on our Discord server. I need to make like a meme suggestion. Oh yeah, here. Let me actually show you guys. We have a Discord server. I'm gonna make a new channel on our Discord server for people to send us memes. Okay, so. This link to our Discord server is in the description. Okay. So maybe if you have any create a channel. We have a new channel now. A channel on our Discord server calls memes, right? So if you have any suggestions for like Hindu related memes, please post them. Go to our Discord server and suggest it to. I will post them on our Facebook page. And guys, our Facebook page is like our biggest assets, right? Like we have 2,400,000 followers on Facebook, right? So the memes that if I pick any of your memes to post on Atheist Republic, it will get attention, right? So yeah, good. All right.
I found a tweet from a BJP member. I requested Delhi police to arrest, arrest Shushmi Sinha ASAP and take strong action against Bolta Hindustan, which I think is a news agency that she's involved with. She's a freelance journalist, for insulting Hindu religious book and promoting hate and spreading lies.
Right.
It's like, oh my God.
Is there any way that we could what is she's like? What's her situation right now? Is there any way we can help her?
I know Soraya has reached out to me about where I can contact her. Most of the videos I've watched of her, I follow her on Instagram. They're all in Hindi.
Can we have her on Atheist Republic?
Yeah, I believe she speaks English because her captions are in English, but her videos are speaking Hindi.
Oh my God, that would be so good.
It'd be so good.
Yes.
It'd be so good. So that's something I'm going to work on.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, thank you to Subham and Soraya for suggesting this news to me.
Yeah. I've been saying I'm active on TikTok. I have my TikTok link in the description. I'm going to become more active on TikTok soon.
Now, you need to get that spyware off your phone, bro.
All the apps are bad. Faraz is saying Shiva, Ram, Krishna, Hanuman is the monkey one, right?
Yep.
There are so many gods. Yes, yeah, there are so many gods, but they simp again. Hindus simp for their female gods more than their male gods. That's my understanding. Okay, I don't know why. Let me
Probably
know if
the
that's
purity culture thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the honor culture applies to their gods as well. So weird. All right. Let's do next news.
Okay. Ooh. So, to answer your question, I think the female god with the many arms is Durga.
Is that the one that it will offend them the most? Let's go with that one. Shopam, let us know.
Ex Hindus or people who know about Hinduism in the chat, please let us know. Okay,
Right,
so
next news.
Now you have me doing it.
Yeah, see, you were cringing over this before. Now you're doing it yourself.
Okay. So this is an update on a case that happened recently that's quite important. So, lawyer allegedly provided the gun in murder of man accused of blasphemy in Peshawar, Pakistan. A lawyer has been arrested for allegedly giving a pistol to the teenager accused of gunning down a U.S. citizen as he appeared in a Peshawar court on blasphemy charges. Tahir Ahmed Nassim was fatally shot on July 29th. According to investigating officers, a junior lawyer was arrested for, quote, allegedly providing a pistol to the assassin to kill Nassim. Authorities say the shooter, who according to the police is 17 years old, had confessed to the killing, claiming that the lawyer provided him with the pistol. How did this happen? The lawyers don't typically undergo a pat-down before going into the court. And lawyers said that the arrested lawyer had discreetly handed the pistol over to the teenager. U.S. officials said that Nassim was lured from his home in Illinois, in America, to Pakistan in 2018, where he was subsequently arrested on blasphemy charges.
Is the United? Have I been missing something? Is the United States like on government on top of this? I'm wondering why their citizen was just shot like in the court for blasphemy. Like, are they like trying to get? By the way, this wouldn't get the attention that it deserves if this person wasn't a U.S. citizen. But like,
well, maybe not from. It would get my attention, but yeah, from the general media, you're right. Because for people who follow news about blasphemy, like I'm following them regardless of what country you're a citizen of.
But also ARN is saying it's well known in Pakistan. There's a lot of lawyers who defend and stand and the blasphemy laws. Yeah, this is how bad crazy things are in Pakistan, right? It's not just a mob, okay? It's not. It seems like it's not just the thousands, millions of people in Pakistan that are just like, yes, kill these fuckers that are committing blasphemy. Like they are in full support of murdering anybody who insults Muhammad. It's also the people that you expect to actually be, cooler heads, like the people in law, people that are supposed to be defending even the guilty, even though these people are not guilty. A lot of lawyers and a lot of judges and a lot of the police are on the side of the murderers, the people that are violating the country's own law, even though, the country's laws are not that good because the country's law is like, don't kill the blasphemers yourself. Let the government kill the blasphemers. Like, let's have that's the level of civility that we can expect from the Pakistan's government. But even that law that we already have, it's being broken, and the law that is being broken in Pakistan is being celebrated not just by the millions of people in the streets, but also by the police who took selfies with this murderer. Like, this person just killed somebody. The man was in court for blasphemy, trying to defend himself against the judge, and somebody just went like, nope, no court, sorry, you die. And they shot the man in the court, and the police who came and arrested the murderer, they treated him like a hero. They treated him like a hero. They were taking selfies with him and like kissing him. There were like all these religious people who, at his arrest, and like he was smiling, and the religious people were kissing his face, trying to get all that holiness from him, because they thought like, oh my God, if the government kills him, he's going to be a martyr and he's going to see Muhammad. Let me kiss him before he dies. And now we see, it was the lawyers. The lawyers are also on his. The lawyers. There are many lawyers that go and like, oh my God, like, oh my, this person just killed a blasphemer, and now he needs to defend himself. There are so many lawyers in Pakistan that go offer their time for free. Like, oh my God, I will defend you. I will defend this murderer for free. Like, because there's so much. What the fuck, Pakistan? What the fuck, Pakistan? Like, every time they have a news on Pakistan, guys, the atheist activists and the secular activists in Pakistan, they are the bravest among us. Like, these are when it comes to the people at the front line of this movement, I don't even know how they managed to even, like, I see so many secular and atheist activists in Pakistan on Twitter publicly calling shit out. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, how are these people doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know that they could be shot and the people will be celebrating their death, and they still go on Twitter and publicly like denounce things. Like guys, like, again, we need more support for the atheist activists in Pakistan. By the way, a shout out to Harris Sultan. If you ever want to get more detailed information about this fuckery in Pakistan, nobody covers this crap better than, well, nobody that I know of covered this better than Harris Sultan. So go check out his channel. He goes over.
He has two channels.
One in Urdu.
He has Harris Sultan. Harris Sultan is his English channel. Just Google that, and he does Harris's House of Sin. And then he also has his Urdu channel, is the Pakistani Mulhid. So look that up. And what I love is that his Urdu channel actually has a larger following than his English channel.
It would.
He is doing a lot of extremely valuable content. Abdullah Gondal also does really good content in Urdu as well. I think he visits Harris's channel for that.
These people are doing the Lord's work. Like seriously, we have so much content. Atheist YouTube channels in Arabic now. That one, like, that market has been filled with like that Arab atheist community on YouTube that is growing rapidly, right? With the Urdu community, now we have Harris Sultan and Abdullah Samir. With the Turkish atheist Gondal, sorry. With the atheist Turkish YouTube channel, we have the Apostate Prophet now making anti-Islamic content in Turkish, and so that's happening.
Well,
wait,
also,
hold on. No, wait. Not as soon as it gets to us, you're interrupting me. This is sexism. See, that you don't let. Okay, no, okay, serious. And when it comes to, you know what I'm gonna say? The next one, we're the leading YouTube channel when it comes Farsi, the Persian, the anti-religion, pro-atheism, anti-Islamic YouTube channel that is in Persian. Who's covering that market? We are Atheist Republic's Persian channel is leading that fight as well. So if you speak Persian, or if you know anybody who speaks Persian, recommend that. Again, it's called Jomhuriye Bi Khodayan. Well, actually, if you look in the homepage of Atheist Republic, you can see a link to that in the suggested channels. We do also have an Arabic channel. That one is yet to pick up, and it's small in the whole Arab YouTube. Very but again, we're trying to work on that as well. But our Persian channel has picked up, and it's doing we are among the atheist world in the Persian world. We are very recognized. So, kudos to us, right, on that.
Well, in terms of Turkish channels, I also wanted to give a shout out to the channel that owner Romano is involved in producing. Whatever is the Turkish translation of Atheist Association of Turkey. I'm sorry, I really can't say the word. You should go look up that channel if you speak Turkish. They do a lot of really good content.
They should. Apostate Prophet and owner should have
they do.
They do.
In fact, they already do work together.
Nice. I hate you saying never interrupt Susanna when she is speaking. Damn it. I will continue to interrupt Susanna. Okay. And where are my simps? Where are my simps? God damn it. Why are people defending Susanna and not me? Huh? Like, okay, I'm gonna build a simp army for myself, Susanna. You'll see. It's gonna be bigger than yours. That's what she said. Anyways, Faraz is saying if you were to create a video game with Faraz, stay on topic. Oh wait, no, it is on topic. If you were to create a video game where you were to escape blasphemy alive, Pakistan would be a difficult level. Okay. That's actually good. That's funny.
Michael Sherlock had a really funny tweet saying, like, I know people in Pakistan and Saudi who are open about their atheism, so extreme sports don't impress me. And I was like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Suha is reminding everybody to like and subscribe. As usual, thank you so much, Suha. And Mr. Chowmain is saying, Armin and Susanna, keep interrupting each other so I can laugh hard. Okay. All right.
Wait, no, I have something else I wanted to add. So you were talking about, like, what is the U.S. doing about this? I wanted to highlight, so Senator James Lankford from Oklahoma recently gave a very moving speech that I watched about the case of Nassim. And he is issuing he introduced a resolution last year to call for a global repeal of blasphemy laws, heresy, and apostasy laws. And it's an 8-page resolution, and he's trying to get it passed in the Senate because the House of Representatives have passed a similar resolution, I believe, within the past 2 years. And he gave a very moving speech that highlights the importance, and I loved it because he's saying it is a fundamental human right to have a faith, change your faith, or have no faith at all, and that we need to be in support of the people of Pakistan and helping them repeal these laws and to put pressure on the many governments that impose such tyranny. And part of the speech was about why is it so hard to get just these 8 pages, this 8-page resolution passed. So I encourage people to go look up that little speech by Senator James Lankford. It's sponsored by Senator Lankford and Senator Chris Coons. So I really appreciate their work, and I really am looking forward to more U.S. government officials speaking out against these laws because it needs way more highlighting.
Okay, let's go to the next. Wait. Here, I'll do it. Somebody in the Facebook said that they liked the clap, so I'm going to bring it back. Next news.
Okay.
Wait, do the riff. No, you don't do the clap. I do the clap. You do the. Okay, good. Next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liberty University doubles down after Jerry Falwell denies reports of his resignation. So let's get into some sex scandal juiciness. Okay. Officials at Liberty University, one of the nation's largest and most well-known Christian universities, are doubling down after Jerry Falwell Jr. denied reports that he agreed to step down as president following allegations of sexual behavior at odds with the school's honor codes. The latest breach between Falwell and the university comes on the heels of an investigation published by Reuters in which Falwell's former business partner, Giancarlo Granda, claimed he had a multi-year sexual relationship with Falwell's wife, Becky, which involved Falwell looking on while the pair engaged in sexual acts, aka he enjoyed being cuckolded.
Wait, that's what it's called? That's what the fetish is called?
Yeah, you're a cuck. That's where it comes from. If you are married and your wife sleeps with another man, you become a cuckold.
That's not what the fetish. No. Okay, so you don't understand
we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So Liberty University, whose campus is in Lynchburg, Virginia, holds its students to a strict moral code, which includes prohibitions on sex outside of marriage and same-sex relationships. A statement released late Monday evening by Liberty's spokesman Scott Lamb said that, quote, matters came to light which made it clear that it would not be in the best interest of the university to return from leave and serve as president, end quote. So,
okay, guys, be careful not to kink shame anybody.
Exactly.
Okay, this is not about kink shaming.
No.
This is about pointing hypocrisy.
Yes.
Okay, this would be not an issue at all if these people were not pretending that they have a different that in public they have a different standard for everybody else, and they want to call out everybody for their what they called sexual depravity and like degeneracy or whatever the crap they call it, their version of haram, right? If they weren't such hypocrites, we were like, great, enjoy it. By the way, this is not being. I think being a cocky just means like wanting. Like, I think this is something else. Watching your wife wanting to do it is a different thing than just no. Really,
well, that there's additional levels to it, right? So
Okay.
just the definition of a cuckold is a married man who's been cheated on. You have been
okay,
made
so
a
that's
cuckold.
what it is. Okay, but this is different. This is you.
Well,
You're not being cheated on. This is
it's cheating on literally just in terms of having sex outside of that marriage. That's what I mean.
that's not cheating though. If you have an understanding with your wife that this is something you both enjoy.
Okay, let me be more clear. Any
Okay, yes,
any sex outside of that married union that the woman engages in makes her husband a cuckold.
That's bullshit, though.
I mean, yes, it is.
Because if cuck is used as an insult, then it's basically kink. So the word cuck is kink shaming people. Then
so cuckold is an old term. Like this is a really old term that goes back a long ways, right? But it has recently become a different kind of internet insult, right? So they often just refer to a cuck as a man who is not strong enough to please his own woman. He's weak. He's not manly. It's a shot at masculinity, basically. So what you were saying in the difference, though, is that if being a cuckold is defined as the woman having sex with a man outside of that married union, that itself is cuckolding. But then you're talking about the additional layer of him enjoying watching it, allegedly.
Right. But my understanding is that a lot of conservatives use cuck as an insult because they see the original thing that this came from as the most unmasculine thing somebody could be, right? But you could rephrase this as like, you know what? I am man enough to know what I want, and nobody could tell me that my desires are, unworthy of being pleased or whatever. You know what I mean? Like fuck. You could be like, oh no, I am very strong, and I'm going to be unabashedly, without any shame, acknowledge that this is what I love, and I love watching my wife getting fucked by another dude, and I will not apologize for this, and I will satisfy my desires to the fullest degree that I could possibly. Like, you could be like, yeah, this is my strong position, like fuck the whole world, this is what I like, and I will not deny that. So you could be like, you can make that like you could make that like a strong position, right? I don't know. So,
oh my gosh.
It's not kink. It is kink shaming.
Well, using it as an insult, being derisive about it, denigrating is kink shaming. But that's not why we're talking about.
What if it was the other? Like, I think these people are so like unsure about their own masculinity that they think like they will become. They think like by being offended about these things, they will prove that they themselves are real men, right?
Yeah.
By the way, do you think it would be the other way around? Like, people see that as like, oh my god, you can't be a man if you want that. But what if they would probably think like, oh my god, if your wife said like, oh, I want to see you have sex with another woman, right? They would then be like, oh my god, you're the luckiest man alive. Your wife like enjoys watching you have sex with another woman, and they're like, oh yeah, that's the height of masculinity. Like you have two women to please. Like you see, they're just hypocrites. They're just fucking hypocrites.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it depends on how much
how
of
do
a traditionalist you are. Some of them would still find that as
just enjoy what you like and go for it. Fuck anybody that says this is masculine or not masculine. Just it doesn't really matter if it is masculine or not. Just figure out what you like and go for that. But don't cheat on anybody. Just make sure whatever you do, the other person that you're involved with completely understands, and if it's okay, they're okay with it. It's not cheating if everybody is on board with it. Okay, and don't be a hypocrite like this guy. Okay,
yeah.
don't
So
be a hypocrite. Don't go shame people for things that you enjoy yourself. Right?
Yeah. So that's why we're highlighting this, right? Is because he's holding a very different standard over the students that he has power over versus himself. And this isn't the first bit of a scandalo he's been involved in recently. So, see, now you have a simp in the chat. Dirty Dancer is saying, Armin is my kink and I won't be shamed for it. See, the simps come out at night.
I want a simp army that is purely female. Is that too much to ask?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, good.
See, this is the benefit of being bisexual, is that my simp army will have twice the members off top.
Yeah.
It's an equal opportunity army.
Yeah, I can't.
So my numbers are stronger. But wait, I wanted to say something else.
Okay.
In the quote that I had at the end where they're saying, oh, it's not good for him to return from leave. It would not be in the best interest of the university for him to return to leave. He was previously put on leave by the university within the past couple of months because he posted a photo on his Instagram of him on a cruise with a woman next to a woman who is not his wife, with both of their pants unzipped. And this caused like a big outrage amongst people at Liberty University, and he had to be put on leave. And so his defense was, oh, it was just a lighthearted joke, and she couldn't zip up her pants because she's pregnant, so I wanted to take a picture with my pants unzipped and like all this stuff. And it was really interesting when that first incident happened to see the outrage, like legitimate outrage from the evangelical right, from his community, because I was following that as well. They had a huge problem with him posting that photo, which is like very innocuous. I thought it was funny. And then so this comes down on him, this expose, and then he's claiming that he's not resigning, and then the university itself is coming back, and they're like, no, like he's not coming back. So it's an evolving story. Of sex, Christianity, and scandal.
Scandal, yeah. Can we actually? I'm not sure what Justin is saying here, but I think I disagree with it. Justin is saying probably the best thing is to say no if a partner wants to have sex with other people. Why is that? They're unhappy with you.
No.
That's crap. I think, Justin, I disagree with that. If you are not jealous and you guys want to experience other people outside of your marriage, and you're both okay with it, I think it's a healthy thing to do. I don't understand why have rules when it's unnecessary, right? I don't know. Like, as long as both sides are okay with it. Like again, as long as both sides are okay with it. So I don't understand why do you add unnecessary rules to your life?
What matters is informed consent.
Yes,
all parties having informed consent.
Yes, and just because you're enjoying something else, that doesn't mean that you don't enjoy. You can enjoy multiple things at the same time, people. It doesn't mean that. Yeah. All right. Anyways, should we go to next news? Yes. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Next news. There you go.
I have to make sure I'm mirroring the right way. Okay. So this is our last news. Chinese hospitals aborted late-stage pregnancies and killed newborns in Xinjiang, China, aka East Turkestan. So hospitals in Xinjiang aborted late-stage pregnancies and killed newborns as part of China's mission to erase Uyghur culture, a doctor who worked from the region told Radio Free Asia. In 2017, China passed a law limiting Uyghurs and other ethnic minorities to having 3 children if they live in a rural area, or 2 if they live in urban areas. Hasiat Abdullah, a Uyghur doctor who spent 15 years working in hospitals in Xinjiang and now lives in Turkey, told RFA that when a child was expected to be born into a family who had already had 2 or 3 children, or who had had a child in the past 3 years, the pregnancy would be terminated even at 8 or 9 months. Sometimes the medical staff members would, quote, even kill the babies after they had been born, Abdullah said. So, one, I know that I can't say Uyghur the right way. 2, I wanted to highlight this news because I think it's important to, I don't even know the right way to say this. When fighting genocide and mass human rights abuses, we need to make sure we're not exaggerating, right? And this news is terrible. I think it is well documented that the Chinese government's hospitals have been doing extremely late-term abortions, right? That's well documented for years. However, this claim about killing newborns is obviously very severe, and it I have only been able to find this person claiming that they kill newborns.
Yeah, so guys, we have a huge anti-Chinese government agenda here, but just because we're extremely because we do have that bias, that doesn't mean that we should just accept this. Because right now we don't know if there's enough evidence for this second part. We do know that this forced abortions is a thing, right? We do know that, right? That we know that with some degree of certainty, not 100%.
I think a high degree of certainty.
High degree of certainty, okay? But this one is a new and obviously a lot bigger claim. Like, okay, late-stage pregnancy. Again, forced abortion is horrible and it's a crime. Forced abortions, right?
Yes.
And it should be called out. And if I say that this second part is a lot worse, I'm not dismissing how bad that other one is, but obviously this is way, way killing newborns, like killing babies after they're born. This is like, holy crap. If this is true, this is like a huge what the hell kind of moment. Like, what? Like, but again, guys, be skeptical about news like this. Don't just believe it because somebody said so. But this needs to be investigated more. Like, holy crap, man. This is like, I mean,
very severe. It is an extremely severe allegation. And given the extraordinary nature of the claim, you need to provide extraordinary evidence. Now,
guys, by the way, for people who ask sources for our stories, every single story that we highlight here, the links are always in the description. Okay, maybe check first before you ask, well, where's the source? Okay, it's right in the description. The source for every news is in the description, and you could find their sources as well. But I'm saying, you guys, we need to, even if there are sources, you can't just believe it because some of the sources is sometimes somebody claims it. Okay, and I'm not saying you can dismiss it just because somebody claims it, because a lot of times the person who's claiming it is somebody with some level of credibility. So I'm not saying dismiss it. I'm not saying believe it. But a lot of people think that there's only 2 options: dismiss it or believe it. So there is other options. Other option is like, pay attention to this and consider it and put it in there's a category in your mind. There's multiple categories. Like, you don't have to throw it out. You don't have to believe it. You could feel like, I'm gonna keep this in the withholding judgment, but paying attention to until I see further evidence for it. Yeah? So things that need to be investigated further category. There's an in-between category. Yeah, call it that. Okay. Don't dismiss it. Don't believe it. Put it in the file that, this needs to be investigated category. Put it over there. Okay.
So this woman said,
Let me show you while Susanna is being a train. Let me show you guys something that I don't like. Okay, let me actually show you a comment that I do like. Patrick is getting it right. Saint Patrick saying, "While I'm all for complete and utter disestablishment of all religions, not like this." Okay, great point. Yes, thank you. Let me like this one.
We're against
But
religion, not people.
yeah, but look at this guy. Look at this idiot. Population control. I'm fine with that. That's what he's. That's the GIF here, and I don't know why there's a furry thing opening here.
That's a Pokemon. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
What does that got to do with anything? But anyways, so yeah, I mean, you're a horrible human being, Danielle. You are a horrible, horrible human being. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, forced abortions, ethnic genocide, and demographic engineering is not the same as population.
I mean,
control.
this is beyond just demographic engineering. This is straight up murder, right? If it's true. But
here's the thing. She's saying, for babies who had been born at the hospital outside of family planning limits, she said, quote, they would kill them and dispose of the body. They wouldn't give the baby to the parents. They'd kill the babies when they're born, she said. It's an order that's been given from above. It's an order that's been printed and distributed in official documents. Hospitals get fined if they don't comply. So, of course, they carry this out. So that's it. That's a serious and extraordinary claim to make. Now, the thing is, I have been able to find multiple reports of multiple doctors who now live outside of China talking about the campaign of forced abortions, forced late-term abortions within the Xinjiang region. However, this claim about killing newborns after they've been born, I've only been able to find this woman claiming this. She's talking about government documents. I have not been able to find those documents that they've been produced and brought forward, versus the report that the Associated Press released a few months ago regarding the data from Chinese documents themselves that shows the demographic shifting that's happening in the region. That is extremely credible evidence, and that meets the standard of genocide according to the United Nations 5 criteria of what meets genocide.
China.
This is on a different level, and I am treating this claim with a level of skepticism, because I have so far have only been able to find one person making this claim versus the campaign of forced abortions is much more well documented.
Like activists, like underground, or just like person with a credibility of things that, like, what kind of a person is this?
The person making this claim is an obstetrician who worked in Xinjiang for 15 years, now living in Turkey.
Okay, so here's the thing. This person on Twitch, who I can't pronounce their name, said unconfirmed is a good name for the category. I don't like unconfirmed because a lot of people use unconfirmed as a way to just throw it away. I think needs to be investigated is not believing it, but also taking it seriously as a claim, right? So I think needs to be investigated. I like that more as a category that you can put it into, because it's basically treating the claim with the seriousness that it deserves, right? Ethan is saying forced simple medical procedures no different than requiring a vaccination. No.
Oh my God, Ethan.
Oh my God, Ethan. Cut it out. Cut it out, Ethan. Ethan, no.
We don't want to have to shit this hard on our own members. Don't do this to us.
No. Oh my God.
We appreciate your support, but no.
Ethan, I think you can see the difference between forcing killing
late stage or
abortion,
to term pregnancies.
Than something that is supposed to stop spreading a disease. Here's the thing. This would be, Ethan, this would be a good comparison if these were zombie babies that would go and infect other people when they were born, like biting people and turning them to zombies. Then if it was a disease like that, and then kill those babies, okay? That's how it would be similar, okay? Because it's harming other people. But yeah, again, China, cut it out, China. Maybe consider not committing genocide. Just a suggestion. cut out the genocide. That's our recommendation from China. But was this the last news today?
This was the last news. I had something else that I wanted to mention in regards to, this is like honestly so shocking. The birth rate of Uyghur Muslims in the Xinjiang region dropped. The birth rate in Xinjiang fell by nearly 24% in 2019. The birth rate falling 24% within the span of 1 year is shocking. This doesn't happen under regular circumstances.
Right.
Okay, this is because of state meddling, penalizing, and demographic engineering campaigns.
Right.
That doesn't happen without really crazy stuff going on in the environment, right?
Right. Anyways, let's cut this here because we managed to keep this under 2 hours. I like to keep the news under 2 hours, so we're getting close. Let's say Ethan is saying something. Let's see what he has to say. Ethan, by the way, guys, Ethan is a paid member, but we don't hold back even if you're a paid member, and I think Ethan understands that. Not understanding the liberal position, in the abortion debate, they are simple medical procedures, and what is China doing becomes killing babies. No, Ethan, because it's against the. First of all, when we say killing babies, we were talking about the newborns, not the fetuses. But even when it comes to the fetuses, it's a crime if it's against the will of the mother. Obviously, okay. We're against forced abortions just the same way we're against forced labor, because both of them are against the will of the mother. I think whether the fetus stays or goes should be the choice of the mother. So we are as aggressively against forcing a mother to have the baby as we are against a mother forcing the mother to not have the baby. It's actually pretty consistent if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. AJ is saying, please like and share and subscribe the channel. Yes, thank you, AJ, for reminding everybody to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitch. Link to our personal accounts for both me and Susanna, and also Rivka and Subham, is in the description. So if you're like, you know what, I don't like this Atheist Republic stuff, but I like Susanna, or more likely you're gonna say I actually like Armin more, then you could actually look in the description. You can follow our personal accounts as well on Instagram. No, Armin's account, link in the description. Let's all right, check us out, and also Discord server. And also, guys, one more reminder. Stop it. Cut it out. You're distracting people from what I'm saying, Susanna, with all your... God damn it. All right. Guys, do not support us financially. We're getting a lot of new members and a lot of recent new patrons, which is awesome. But I'm hoping none of our new members and none of our patrons are supporting us while suffering financially. Again, every time a reminder... Please do not support us financially on PayPal or Patreon or as a YouTube member. If you're struggling financially, there are other ways you can support us. You can like us, click the like button. It's really easy. It just takes half a second. Doesn't cost you anything. You can share after the live stream is over. You can leave a comment. All of those things really, really help us. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you hop on over and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you have a Twitch account, follow us on Twitch. Anything you want to add, Susanna?
I'm cuter than you, and my simp army will be stronger every day.
Okay. Guys, can you prove Susanna wrong? Guys. Wait, you know how many followers I have on Twitter on my personal account compared to you? Wait.
Yeah, you've been doing this. You have 10 years on me. You have like 15 years of activism on me.
No. Okay, Instagram. I haven't been doing much activism on Instagram. And Instagram is supposed to be more female friendly. Like female women get a lot more followers on Instagram than men. And I'm beating you on Instagram. So
yeah, because you've been a public figure for years more than I have.
Sure. Whatever.
Also, I'm terrible at taking photos of myself.
Aaron used to hate me. Now he's simping for me.
I think it's a love-hate relationship.
It's a love-hate relationship, is it? It is. AJ is saying, how about a poll? No, no. We go by social media following. Ethan is saying, good night. Atheist life matters. Yes, that is true. Atheist lives do matter. And should we make that a hashtag? Should we make that trending? Farah saying, thanks, Gian, guys. Simp for Susanna. No, Farah, I'm going to cut you out. Simping for Susanna. I will simp for Armin in spite of all his terrible arguments. Great. Because, see, I'm so good that even though Aaron doesn't like my arguments, he has no choice but to simp for me. Anyways, I'm going to stop now. Love everybody. Love you. I was going to again say love you all, but as always, I don't love you all. I only love the people who are subscribed or are following us on Twitch. Facebook people, get on the YouTube bandwagon. Come join us on YouTube as well. And thank you to all our members and our patrons, especially for the people who are remaining our patrons or YouTube members despite disagreeing with us. You guys are extremely tolerant, so thank you for that. Anyways, love you everyone, and not everyone, again, just the subscribers and the Twitch followers. Bye-bye. Subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell right now. Anybody that hasn't hit the notification bell, do it right now. It takes half a second. Do it now.